Welcome, everyone. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are. Welcome to Facebook Live. It is July. Why am I thinking of January? July 24th, year 2024. And we are in the middle of a huge summer. So wanted to introduce you all to the panel. We have April, who is a psychic, a medium, has done, I think, massage therapy, all kinds of Amadeus healing, and you were doing some kind of Qigong study as well recently, April. So quite a few different modalities. And you can talk to MJ. She vouches for April's advice. There are quite a few. Sandhya vouches for April's advice. So please feel free to contact April one-on-one. Patricia, you should have a session with April someday. And then we also have Patricia here. Good evening, Patricia, who is part of our core group of meditators. I don't know, Patricia, if you can see the question, but I'm gonna let me post it again, or do I need to post it? It's pretty long.
I don't see it now.
Okay, so let me post it. So this person asks, hello, everyone. Now I'm about to give up. I've known Eckhart Tolle for a long time. What frustrates me so much is that I only manage to be in the present moment for a few seconds a day. I start again every day. The problem is that I don't think of it. I've already set an alarm clock, stuck dots on the door, put notes on the floor, saying now. But the second day, I've neither heard nor seen it anymore, which is neither seen anymore than now. Maybe it's also due to the chronic pain I've had for 13 years. My brain is probably constantly in fight and flight mode and perhaps wants to get away from the present moment. At least that's how I imagine it. I would be very grateful for advice on how I can change this and remember myself to be in the here and the now. April, the floor is yours, and I'm going to check if we are streaming to the correct page. Thank you.
Okay. So for the biggest thing is don't give up. And you reaching out is a good thing when you do feel like you want to give up. This journey is not, it's not necessarily an easy journey. And it is not something that happens overnight. There's many times where I would get down on myself and think I would never find happiness. I would never find that peace that I was searching for. That maybe I just couldn't do it or I couldn't get it. But the real key is not ever giving up. That is the real key, to keep practicing, keep trying, keep doing it. So that's first and foremost. It does sound like this person is doing many things to try to be present in the present moment, such as set an alarm, stick dots on the door, put notes on the floor saying now. By the second day, I've neither heard nor seen it anymore. So it is a very good practice. I know that many spiritual teachers talk about this. Eckhart talks about it. Joe Dispenza especially talks about it. Starting your practice before you even get out of bed, waking up with your practice, waking up, not getting on the phone, taking a breath, being in the moment in the morning. And that is something that I very much do. I have a morning ritual or program that I do to bring myself into the present moment. So I would suggest setting up some sort of program, even if it is just meditation, and maybe it's only 15 minutes of meditation. It's still something. And then maybe you, if you're in a warm area, you go sit outside, or maybe you go sit by the window, and then perhaps you drink your tea or you drink your smoothie, your health smoothie. Make some sort of program which will set the tone for the day. So the morning energy, the way you start your day, helps to set your tone for the day. And you're saying that you're setting alarms to tell yourself, oh, go back into the present moment. But I'm thinking that maybe actually blocking out some time for these moments instead of just this quick, we've talked about, having the clock on the wrist, or even if you had like a hair tie on your wrist and snapping it to tell you to come into the present moment, but actually maybe blocking out 30 minutes to a half hour to meditate, to calm the body down, to calm the mind down. So this is a lot of mental, a lot of, like they're saying, my brain is probably constantly in fight or flight due to the chronic pain. That's probably true. However, meditation has been shown to reduce pain. It's been shown to produce thousands upon thousands and thousands of healing chemicals within the body in the matter of minutes. So I would try to maybe come more into the meditation practice, which includes the body, not just the mind and just the thinking, making more of a program of it. And then also doing this at night. I also do different things at night before I go to bed, whether that is meditation or perhaps it's reading. But reading in a way is a kind of meditation. Everything else is blacked out. I'm focused on what I'm trying to gain knowledge on. It can be breathing. It could be going for a walk. So I think that would be my suggestion for this person, is to make more of a program, to make this more of a way of life versus trying to battle just the mind.
Incredibly amazing. Thank you so much, April. Grateful for the advice. One, you said wake up with gratitude, right? And Dr. Joe Dispenza says gratitude is the ultimate state of receivership. If we want to, so his teachings are about, like, yeah, you may have this chronic pain in this moment, but you need to train your body to feel the elevated emotions. And the elevated emotions, like you said, April, the first is gratitude, right? Until we start to get into those states of gratitude, humility, feeling empowered, feeling like an unlimited genius, doing mental rehearsals of that and maintaining that state, we will constantly be in this fight and flight mode, right? And if your body, Dr. Joe Dispenza recently did an interview. I think Patricia responded to me that she watched the video. It was like a 2-hour video and she watched it end to end. And I watched it like 2 or 3 times. And I go back to it over and over again because he explains his teachings in a short 2-hour video, like what he teaches in a week. He like has compressed it in a 2-hour video, right? And the first thing he says is our body is like an animal, right? Like a dog that has, so your body for 13 years, like a dog, it has learned bad behavior of always being in this fight and flight mode, right? So to be in the present moment, the moment you get in the present moment, the body will take you out of it. It's learned 13 years. Hey, I want to get back to that addiction. Give me that dopamine hit of that fight and flight mode, right? Where is that hit? Think of something that'll get me into, oh, what's going to happen to me? I'm in pain and this is not happening. That is not happening, right? So the body is an animal and we have to train it to sit it down. And that's the whole thing about Dr. Joe's meditations. And that's why, yeah, Eckhart may say about, and you can do years and years and years of Eckhart's studying and learning. And I've seen so many people talk about, I've learned about Eckhart, I've studied Eckhart years and years, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, but I have not learned to be in the present moment because there is no practice with Eckhart's teachings. And that's where Dr. Joe, with his practice and practical advice, steps in, right? Where he says you train your body to sit it down. And he has like a sitting meditation, a lying down meditation, and a walking meditation. So he says, don't just sit and learn to be in the present moment. Learn to walk as it, learn to stand as it, learn to lie down as it, right? So he covers all three states that a human being is. Remember, wherever we are always either standing, sitting, or lying, right? So if we learn to be in a state of presence, so I feel, do you want to give advice? April asked you, how would you be in the present? Like for me, it has been 2 hours of meditation. Like since 2018, I will not ever stop doing my meditation ever. And if I miss a meditation due to like, I mean, we do that medical medium, this thing I've been cooking or something. If I miss a meditation on a day, next day, it's going to be 3 hours of meditation, right? I'll make up for missing that day, the day before, right? So you want to talk about it, April?
So the other thing here is that I thought of is they're saying that they're not in the present moment. And I start every day again, and then I don't think of it. In the present moment, we're not thinking. We're not thinking in the present moment. So, what tells them that they're not in the present moment? Because is it their thoughts? Are they in the past, or are they in the future? So, and if that is true, then yes, we train the body, the brain, very much like it is an animal. And we say, it's time to be quiet, not going to follow that thought. I'm not going to let it spiral and keep going and keep going. I'm going to pull it right back. And oh, I'm sitting here in a chair. Oh, I'm okay. Oh, I'm in a room. This room is nice. That's the present moment, right? So for me, that was one of the big things, was quieting down the mind and not following the mind, not letting it take me over, not following those thoughts. Most of the time, it's not actually the thought that's the problem. It's the story attached to the thought that's the problem. So I spent a lot of time retraining my brain and then retraining my body to be quiet, which is done through meditation. So I do meditation in the morning. I do it at night. If I'm finding myself off center, I do it during the day. I also do some Qigong movements, which are very subtle. So the body has to quiet down to do these movements, and it stays centered. So those are good ways to do it. For some people, meditation is 2, 3, 4, 5 hours. So I always suggest you to do what works for you. If you're finding yourself struggling, then you can meditate longer, if that helps you. So the thing is that there's so many different ways, and what one way works for one may not work for another, and that's okay. But to find your way, what does work for you?
And I mean, I may say that Eckhart does not have practical advice, this thing, but he does say in The Power of Now, there's I think chapter 8 or 7, where he talks about portals of presence, right? He talks about breath work. He talks about breath meditation. He talks about being in nature or certain types of music that can evoke presence, right? So,
Well, I think Eckhart has also changed that in the last year or so, where he has added some practices. But I think for Eckhart, he basically stayed in a meditative state 24/7. That was his practice.
mhm,
He didn't allow anything to come in and disturb that peaceful energy. If something came up against the energy, he dropped it immediately. That is a practice.
mhm. Exactly. And I feel even if a person is saying that they are in chronic pain, then that means it's some disease state like fibromyalgia, right? Isn't fibromyalgia something where the person is in
Well, it could
chronic?
be many things. And if your brain has been in the past, in the future, or you have not resolved some sort of emotional issue, it
Mhm.
results in physical illness. All emotional, physical illness in some way or another always resorts back to emotions, some sort of trapped emotion energy that we either haven't dealt with, haven't healed, or we keep reliving.
At the metaphysical level, there is
It's
a
always,
corresponding component to the physical
always.
illness. And Louise L. Hay has a good book, You Can Heal Your Life, where you can kind of see the mapping, right, of
Yeah,
what is.
there's many. And that is one of the things that I did with my tooth area, which we brought up last time, is I had the physical area, I went into the emotional area, and then I actually went out into the etheric, the energy, because it comes in to the body and the energy gets blocked some way. So I actually went out into the energy field and started listening there and saying, okay, what is your problem? What is your issue? So yes. Um, Now chronic pain, I don't know, maybe they had some sort of accident or whatnot. However, um, I still feel like there's a lot of mind activity here.
Mhm. And for chronic pain, the other advice would be Patricia and I and Louise do follow medical mediums. Cleanse to Heal protocol. He has a lot of remedies, physical remedies. Like if you get on the cleansing protocol, so anybody that has any kind of chronic illness, I would say, yeah, what Dr. Joe says, do it energy to energy, right? Raise your vibrational energy, and that will heal you. But Anthony William has a matter to matter. You can use the cleansing protocol to kind of alleviate your illness. I've had like neuropathy in my feet, and all that has cleared. The reason why I stay on the protocol is for that reason, because I've had like certain conditions that have cleared up because of being on the medical medium protocol. I'll let you speak, Patricia. You want to talk about this and talk to April about any questions that you have. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, April did an amazing job answering, because that all applies. And I was that person. I started, right? Everything was mental, mental, mental. I was getting frustrated that I can't stay in the present moment, and I wanted to give up. I had many different chronic issues with my stomach, with migraines, my back, so many things that I was just trying to heal at once and getting very frustrated that I didn't. And what helped me is, like April suggested, staying on it. The moment you want to give up, it's your ego saying, why even trying? Just, don't. And the minute you realize that, it's like, nope, I'm doing it. You just, that decision that you actually decide in your, from like a spiritual point of view, like a higher self will say, I'm going for this. I want, to be present, but why do you want to be present? So maybe if you answer yourself the question why, every time you lose the present moment, you'll remember why you need to be present. For me, I just wanted to live fully every moment, and because I didn't want to suffer anymore, I knew there has to be a different way, and I didn't want to spend my rest of my life going from a doctor, going on more and more pills because everybody was telling me I'm crazy, I have anxieties, depression, I need to be on pills. I have to be on pills for my stomach, for my liver, for my everything. And I just like, you know what? It's either I'm gonna go that way, which I am going to just live on pharmaceuticals and the quality of my life is gonna suck. Because in order to heal everything, I have to be on more drugs, which will kill my liver, which is the reason why I'm suffering a lot for all the other issues. So it didn't make sense to me. I actually listened to my body, and my body says, no, there must be another way. So Eckhart Tolle telling us why we want to do it, and Joe Dispenza saying how we want to do it in practice. I also have morning and evening practice, like April suggested. I do wake up and have meditation, but I also do follow protocol that keeps me centered around healthy food. So, but I'm doing it mindfully. So I'm aware. This is also becoming my practice more and more. Lemon water in the morning, first thing, to hydrate my body, because like a lot of spiritual teachers say, our body is our sanctuary. So this is the vehicle through which we become conscious. We use it to become conscious. So by taking care of it, by giving it attention, and pain, April said it also, touched upon it. It's something emotional that is stuck, and it became a pain because it's trying, your body trying to communicate with you. So many times when you address the underlying issue of why the energy is not flowing, the pain will go away. And that can be addressed by using meditation, by really sitting with it and addressing that part, giving love and awareness to what needs to, what requires the attention. Also, other teachers or doctors, like medical intuition practitioners that try to touch upon the actual pain and sit with it. And this is when you sit and let yourself, instead of running away from the pain, actually get into it. You realize that it's a physical sensation. And the more you breathing, can even imagine breathing the golden light into it and stuff, you're giving love to your cells, and the cells have amazing capacity to heal. So by doing that, you can also start healing yourself. And apparently, if you give attention to any any part of your body for 15 minutes by breathing and breathing into that part of the body, it's almost like a local anesthetic, right? You will actually start producing your own painkillers that will relieve, and you will get some information also why you have that pain. Your body will let you know what needs your attention, and then you can actually do something about it, because there is million information out there of how you can heal. So try different things and one will work for you. I tried many things and certain things stuck, certain things I tried. It did in that moment serve the purpose, and then I naturally moved to the next one. So definitely keep going, but that giving up, just know that that's an ego trying to sabotage your efforts. Because if for so many years you were with Eckhart Tolle, you were present to do that. Because if you weren't, you would have given up much sooner. I mean, come so far. So also give yourself a credit. But yes, I would highly recommend Dr. Joe's, because what he gives us, it's a proven process. So even if you think you don't like it or something, if you go with the process, it will work, because each one of us is a human body, and each human body has certain mechanisms, hormones, energy centers that work the same. We are all humans. So if with his scientifically proven results on so many people, it works every time. If you follow it, all you need to do is follow it. And yeah, it happened for me. It helped. So I know that if I don't have time for an hour or 2 hours of meditation every day, but then I know why I don't have results. Because if I do meditation, I see the difference. So then you have that choice. And then just opening your heart and letting that energy through, and a practice also physical, qigong, walking, breathing, swimming, anything, just doing it mindfully though. That's the key. And
Sasha is asking, where is the healing protocol? Do you want to explain it to her?
so healing protocol, that's medical medium, Anthony William, very well known for many years already, healed a lot of celebrities and published books, also have website and a lot of lives that he recorded that you can watch. And he has protocols for many different sicknesses, illnesses, diseases, because basically his idea is that we in our bodies have bacteria and viruses, and these are the ones that cause a lot of trouble. So diseases like autoimmunity, it's just some diagnosis that medical industry decided to put a label on the things that they cannot diagnose, they don't know how to heal. So they're just saying that your body's attacking yourself. In the meantime, that's not true, because our bodies have immune cells and their purpose of being is to fight and eliminate viruses and bacteria, pathogens that are in our bodies. And each one of us has different cocktail of different pathogens depending on where we pick them up and, you know, the environment we live. So by strengthening our immune cells, by giving them right fuel, which is vitamins and glucose, and eliminating toxins from heavy metals in our bodies that we get from everywhere. Plus fat that's you know, stopping our liver from doing its job by cleaning toxins from my body. So there's a whole information based on the biological, physiological way our body is designed to function. So if we get out of the way and understand it, it will do a lot of healing on its own because it's designed to do this. So just knowing that. And what happens to me, I do 3 things. I do the medical medium for my body, I do the meditations, and I also do the physical movement through energy, like Qigong and yoga, because I noticed that one of each doesn't work by itself for me. So I need kind of all 3 all together to you know, work, and they complement each other beautifully, because I realized that once I started meditating and I'm getting on the high vibration, my body doesn't want to eat heavy foods. It just doesn't like it. I don't go for, you know, like heavy chicken, or I don't want dyes, I don't want artificial sugar cake. It just doesn't do it for me. I am so happy having an apple. It just gives me so much joy. And that happened by itself. I didn't have to go on a diet, like force myself. It kind of happened together. And also with movement, you need to process energy. Like if energy is stuck, just sitting and meditating, yes. But if you have your mind just is spinning quickly, it's almost hard. It's impossible almost to sit. It's very hard. So if you do the meditation even through movement, or like just concentrating on doing certain body movements through Qigong, let's say, that's just beautiful, because you working with your body, giving it what it needs to just process certain things and cleanse it on that level. So then that's what moved the needle for me, doing it all 3 at once. Because I realized that we are so much more than just physical body. We are physical, spiritual, energetic, mental. So it needs to come together for me, especially if you're a very intelligent person, you need the explanation how everything works. Then you're gonna see that in medical medium books that explains how everything works, as also as Dr. Joe's, like the video that Poonam mentioned about, that's beautifully showing the whole methodology. And what's beautiful about it, that the results constantly repeat. If you follow the steps, the results repeat. So just ask yourself why. Why do you want to be present? And really, like, ask yourself 7 times. Dean Graciosa uses this process in why to really hook yourself and stay on course. So ask yourself, why is it important for you to be present? And whatever you answer, let's say, I want, you know, my quality of my life to be better. Why do you want your quality of your life to be better? Because I want to be happy. Why do you want to be happy? It's like, because it's my birthright to be happy. And then if you actually get to the really, really bottom of it, that you don't have any more whys and you like break down in tears when you realize that true answer why, then every time you are about to give up, you remember your why and you will keep going. That's the emotional feelings are the motors that gives you the energy to keep going, that why. And for some like Eckhart, it happened over one moment. The why was so deep that it just never went back to him. So he's just staying right on that energy level because he realized that he doesn't want to, he's done with the way he was. It's just, that's it. So he basically had that identity completely like realization crisis that's, so there is some I that is fed up with the other I. It's like, what is going on here? So I'm not just that automatic animal that just repeats stuff with a, there is something else that decides. And that's what Dr. Joe is awakening in us, bringing it to, actually, I have a fly walking on my monitor. I don't know, does it make sense? So yes, get to why and keep practices, different ones, and do, I mean, exactly, do it once, have fun. I mean, cooking with medical medium is so much fun. It actually, it's such an incredible experience, and everything you make is so delicious. And you don't have to sacrifice any taste because everything tastes actually better than conventional food and recipes. And you know that once you're eating, you actually everything you eat is healing you. That is incredible. That is like just knowing that it brings you joy.
Thank you, Patricia. That was an incredible amount of information. Grateful for it.
A lot of blah 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 blah, but yeah, thank you.
It's useful.
Hope
It was
it helped.
useful. April, do you want to talk about what Patricia talked about, that how do we bring the healing into the body, April? Like the attention that is required, like you talked about your tooth, but you have psychic abilities, so you have the power, a deeper connection with source. You have the power to actually pick on energies. Now, this person may not be at that level, right? So how does an ordinary human being, one of us ordinary human beings, bring healing into our body? Because I'm positive being in pain for 13 years implies an autoimmune condition, right? Some kind of autoimmune. And I know both Carolyn Mace and Iyanla Vanzant has said where pain exists, that implies that we are constantly in a state of guilt. So we are in the past. The guilt causes an internal, the emotional, when we're stuck in guilt, then we want to punish ourselves, and the punishment, the wanting of punishment makes us go, okay, the pain is caused, right? Is we are punishing ourselves by causing pain to ourselves. And if you've been doing it for 13 years, not 1 year, the first time I felt pain was in 2017. And immediately, like I turned towards like medical media, I had started changing my protocol, started trying things. They instantly you have to turn on a dime and start changing stuff, right? You can't be in pain for 13 years. There is a reason. Oh, this is what I wanted to tell you as well. There always is a reason why you have the condition that you have, according to Dolores Cannon. So you want to speak to that? Your soul chose that pain. Your soul chose that autoimmune condition. Why did your soul choose that autoimmune condition? If you want to touch base on that as well, as in how do you bring healing into it? Thank you.
Yeah. Oh. So, mm,
Did I make it too complex?
yeah, well, I'm just trying to figure out where to start. You have the physical body, which has all of its organs and all its processes, and that is actually all energy. It's all energy. We have all these hormones and chemicals that are released, which is energy. When you have a thought, the thought is done in the brain. So the brain is actually like Google search. You pose something to the brain and it just starts searching and searching. And the next thing you know, you've been thinking on the same topic for 2 hours and now you're deeply depressed. But the thought makes the body release chemicals which go into the body and create an emotion, which again is all energy. But then outside of the body, we have these things that are called energy layers that surround the body. And there's different energy layers. And when you are going out into the world, the information from the building, the people, the place you're in, the bus, the car, that is actually coming in and hitting those energy layers first before it actually even hits the body. So this is why perhaps you go to a place and it just feels very beautiful and very calm. And even as you're walking up to the place, you're feeling very calm. That's actually hitting those energy bodies first and coming into the physical body, which is the last layer. So it is something that I have always had. I've always had that ability to do that. But it is something you can train yourself to pay attention to. Pay attention to when you start walking up to that beautiful place and you start feeling that peace inside. That is your energy bodies communicating with your body. The more you do that, the more you will know it's happening. When it comes to, and the same thing is true for negative events, they actually hit the energy bodies first, then they come into the physical body. The thing is that most of us come from environments where these negative events happen repeatedly. So it is not like our mom or our dad is mean to us and they're mean for a week and then bam, there's this magically wonderful unicorn. It's usually years upon years of them doing the same thing. So it's like pounding down those energy layers and it gets pounded into the body. Now, where you store it is you. Like Dolores Cannon saying, you chose this autoimmune. So I'm going to have this abusive mom or dad or grandma, and it's going to keep pounding on my body energetically. And then I am going to develop a certain disease, disorder, illness. And that is based off of what your body and what your soul picks. Now, negative energy, abuse, anger, that kind of stuff, it will tend to go to the weakest link. So if you're in those environments and you have a spot or an area of the body that perhaps is not strong, that is where it will go first. It'll go to the weakest space first. The idea of not needing to be punished is so just global, that we have a mentality amongst humans that we should be punished. And it does come from our families. Perhaps it comes from our society. It also comes from our religions. That is a huge one. That's one of the biggest ones. And it is very important that if you have an area of the body that is not well, to talk to that area of the body. Because again, your cells are listening. The human body has approximately 50 trillion cells. and every cell is listening. Every radio station is on, and they're listening to the command center, which is your brain and your heart, your brain, your emotions. That's the command center. So if you are thinking negative, feeling negative, you're in a negative environment, you're hearing negative, all of that's going into your cells. Somewhere along the line, the energy is going to get blocked. The energy gets blocked, you will get illness. So you must learn to talk to yourself and tell yourself you do not need to be punished. You deserve to be loved. You deserve to be healed. And to not stay in the past. You have to come out of the past. There is somebody that I know right now that is on my Facebook feed, and they repeatedly post their entire life story since they've been 16 years old, and they are my age. And it is a very tragic story. And this person has multiple illnesses, multiple, because they are hanging on and still reliving all that trauma and repunishing themselves and repunishing themselves. So it is crucial that you realize that your cells are listening. You do not need to be punished. And I think that is really huge, to release yourself of that. What is punishing you going to do? What is it going to do? And that takes us back to the concept of whatever it is that happened, that was your level of consciousness at the time. So if perhaps you did something, that was your level of consciousness. But if somebody else did something to you, that was their level of consciousness. And really learning to not take things personally as well, because people literally act how they feel. It really doesn't have anything to do with you. You may be the one that it's happening to, but it's never actually about you. The true answer is unconditional love for yourself, and to find a way to have it for the other person. That doesn't mean that you allow these things to happen, but if you can find it for the other person, such as that's their level of consciousness, then you free yourself.
I just have to take a moment on that wisdom, April. Oh my God. Mind blowing. Thank you so, so much. So much, so much. Infinite gratitude. You know, when you said something about the, I cannot remember the exact words, that you have to let go yourself, right? I got reminded of one of the interviews. So like Patricia says, we stay in the kitchen the whole time, right? Doing medical medium cooking. So while I was staying in the kitchen, I had this Next Level Soul podcast playing, and there was this woman who had been, what is it called? A part of human trafficking and sex trafficking.
I haven't watched that one yet, but I was going to watch that one. Yeah.
And she's now a spiritual teacher.
Mm-hmm.
And she wrote a book on the Sophia Code, right?
Mm-hmm.
And during that interview, she says that the greatest lesson or the greatest teaching that she has is that she learned how to forgive herself for allowing her soul to take on such a tough program.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, if everyone understood, right?
Yeah.
That you had a tough life, but forgive yourself for taking on that lesson, that your soul took on this huge lesson, that you have a 13-year-old autoimmune painful condition, right? Forgive yourself. You exactly.
In the next lifetime, we're going to do what Dolores says, and we're going to take a chilling next lifetime.
we are going to be chillaxing.
We're going to be chillaxing the next lifetime.
So beautiful.
Not, but yeah.
No, most definitely. With all this wisdom that you have, it's going to be like a transformative.
I'll get to be Eckhart or Sadhguru next time, maybe.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Or even for all you know, by the time you complete this lifetime, you've transcended all of this and you become an ascended master. Who knows?
I'm up for that.
Right?
Yeah.
Because then the other thing that I just to explain this to everyone, I'll give a little bit of example of what Dolores Cannon kind of does or explain or short way of understanding. So I'm reading or audio reading her book, Convoluted Universe. I'm in book 4, and in book 4, she takes this one client through hypnotherapy. He's got HIV, AIDS. I don't know. It maybe in the 1970, 80, 90s. She normally did the hypnotherapy around 1990, right? So there was a like influx of AIDS at that time, right? HIV and AIDS among the gay community. So she took him under, and I mean, she took him, like she does hypnotherapy to take the person to their last lifetime, why this condition exists in this lifetime. She takes them to the past life that caused the condition of this lifetime. So he goes in his past life, and he is a woman who is really poor, is married to a husband that does not earn any money, is working in the fields, they don't have any water, and she goes to a village and she sells her body to get money for them, right? Earn money. And the husband knows it, but then something that he finds out, and I think he kills her, right? Like maybe she gets pregnant or something, and he kills her. And that rage of that lifetime came into this lifetime. And during the regression, he finds out that the husband of that past life is now his father. So just look at the karmic conditioning. He took her life, he gave her life. So Dolores Cannon explains this. This is karma. You can take somebody, it doesn't mean that you took somebody's life and now that person, it's not tit for tat, right? You're not going to, it's not like you have to go kill the other person, right? That's not how karma works. The karma can be in the next lifetime, you're going to be the father of this person, and then they have the same kind of relationship. The man does not have any relationship with his father. The same thing that the woman had with her husband, right? She didn't have like a very good relationship with her husband, and she was selling her body. So this is how, and that rage is what brought the HIV condition of this lifetime. Now, do people understand that the rage, the autoimmune condition, is nothing that may be related to your present lifetime? It may be a past lifetime that you're carrying in, and you're carrying the emotions of that into this lifetime. And that's why meditative practices like Dr. Joe Dispenza's, or you can do Vipassana is a great way, which is a 10-day silent retreat. You can repeatedly do that. I think Patricia is doing Michael Brown's presence practice as well. So that is another practice. To me, presence practice is very low. Like Dr. Joe is like at a PhD level, and presence practice is if you're just trying some kind of starting to try to be in the present moment, then you can start doing the presence practice, right? But doing Dr. Joe's meditations, and if you get into it and you're doing the 2-3 hours of meditation, you'll just I mean, you'll get into the void, and you'll be able to figure out that the world, suddenly things happen in this world, and you have not even tried to make it happen, and it happens, right? April, last time you were talking about Dr. Joe during his live stream on his 50th advanced retreat. He held his 50th advanced retreat last month or the month before in May, June timeframe, right? I think end of May, June timeframe. And he was talking about that he wanted to meet his music, the person who composes, the composer of all his meditation music, who is Barry Goldstein, beautiful musician. Barry Goldstein's studio is in Phoenix, and Dr.
Right.
Joe needed to meet him at noon or something, but somehow Kelly, who creates all his, holds his events, she's his event manager, as well as I think probably takes care of his travel and everything, found a ticket where he would not be there at noon, and he needed to
Right.
be in Barry Goldstein's studio by noon, right? And so all he did was, we have this changing boxes meditation. We've done it during group meditation as well. Changing boxes meditation. And he did 2 or 3 times of the changing boxes meditation. And that has nothing to do with you're going to visualize the solution. It only has, you have to be in that emotional state of joy that you're meeting Barry Goldstein, that you're in the studio, right? That you're going to change the box instead of being in the box where there is no way he's going to be at Barry Goldstein's studio, to that he's going to be. And what comes up is the morning that he's about to fly out, the airline calls him and tells him that his flight got preponed, that he has to leave earlier, so he would have made it by noon in Phoenix. So just imagine how the universe conspired for his one thought. When you're a thought alone in that void, right? One thought caused the airline to change its schedule. He could never ever have asked for that, right? We would have asked, oh, let Barry Goldstein changes this thing, or let me go one day earlier, or what have you. But no, the fact that the airline changed the schedule. It happened to me this past weekend, or actually last week. What happened to me was, I've been working a lot during the weekends, right? And I had overworked myself the previous weekend, not last weekend, but the weekend before, cooking. One, I was cleaning, I think I was cleaning my house on Saturday. On Sunday, I was cooking all day, right? We have all this, cutting vegetables, cutting fruit, cutting this, cooking that, right? So I spent like all of my Sunday doing that. And then I was doing something else for my meditation sessions. So my Saturday and Sunday was so packed with work that I had no room, like I had no relaxation. And then of course I had my meditations in the middle, that was also there. And then, so by the time Wednesday came around, I was like, oh, I wish I don't have to work this weekend. Oh my God, am I going? I had one thought, oh my God, am I going to work again this weekend, the upcoming, which is last weekend? So this was like Wednesday or something. And I just continued my routine of meditations. I did my every day doing my meditations. I didn't even do a changing boxes on it, right? I log in on Friday and I find out that there's this CrowdStrike global issue with information technology. I don't know if y'all have heard of it, where it impacted airlines, banks, everything. So they canceled all the changes for that weekend. So I did not have anything scheduled for the past weekend. My weekend was free for me to do whatever I wanted. And that's what I did. On Sunday, all I did was cut watermelon and cantaloupe, and that's it. I said, I'm not cooking anything. I'm just going to do watermelon and cantaloupe and keep it so that I can eat it throughout the day. I didn't even make a juice of watermelon, Patricia. I was like so against doing anything extra other than that. I'd cut up the fruit and keep it ready for me to eat throughout the week. But that's how the universe works when you are connected to source. Right, April?
Yes, absolutely. Yep.
things
Just
happen.
what you said, that knowing that something, your condition in this lifetime might something to do with karma, and that the previous life, right? But how knowing that helps you heal?
How
Or you're
knowing
just
that,
supposed to accept that you're gonna be in that condition because that's what you chose. But isn't that condition is supposed to bring you to the present moment, because it's supposed to give you so much suffering, according to Eckhart, right? That you don't want it. The suffering is useful until it's not. So the suffering is that teacher that brings you to the present moment, because you can't deal with it
take,
anymore.
but that may take a very long time for you to realize that you're suffering. Suffering is going to take so long, right? To come to the breaking the straw that kills the camel's back, right? With suffering, it takes a long time. But if I knew in my past lifetime the anger and rage I have, so what I need to do in this moment is let go of all my anger and rage, and that'll start healing my body. It may
can
not
be
heal me
healed.
of HIV. It may not heal me of HIV, but at least my soul is healing, and my next lifetime will be much more easier, right? It may not completely heal my HIV in this moment, but at least I've cured the emotional state that I carried over. I let go of the anger, just like this lady was saying, right? The Sophia Code woman, she's realized that her soul, the being a victim of sex trafficking and human trafficking, I forgive myself for taking that lesson. Just imagine when you can get to that state that you can forgive yourself for whatever happened to you in the past, right? And it can be so ginormous as being part of what other violent crime can you be a victim of other than being a victim of sex trafficking and human trafficking?
Does
How
it
much more?
also include forgiveness of those that, have a contract to harm you? So these are the ones that bring you
Exactly.
the experience.
You were going to say something, April? Sorry.
Well, once you come to that, then the condition can heal, and it may not completely cure it. It could, but it may not. But the body will start healing, the mind will start healing, the soul will start healing, and then that in itself will give the body relief and rest and peace. So
We
So-
lived our soul contract, right? We lived out our soul contract
Yeah.
at that moment.
According to Matthias de Stefano,
mhm.
I heard him once say that everybody that's older than, I think, 15 years old, their goal, their job, or their mission in this lifetime is to heal. So the whole generations, are here on this planet. So our generations are just here to heal. That's our purpose in this lifetime,
It's everybody's purpose,
right?
even under 15.
I wonder why he said that that maybe they have a different, what, I don't remember, it's 15, but it was a certain cutoff that he gave.
Yeah. It's everybody's purpose, though, actually. So he's making a difference between like the newer souls, the younger souls that are coming in. They're already more aligned, they're more in touch, their veil is thinner, their energy is more open. Not all of them, by the way, but many of them. So that's where he's making the distinction, which is true. But certainly our generations, there is a lot more healing that needs to be done versus these souls are coming in already, in a way, already healed and already aligned with earth and the energies and the cosmos. And so perhaps there's less healing if you look at it in that way, because they're already in touch with the energies, they're sensitive to the energies.
Yeah, he
So,
said
yeah.
that their purpose is a little different because of this all artificial intelligence coming in, and there is a
Yeah.
different, completely different reality that it's almost right here, that but we can't even be participating in it or understand it as much because we have all that healing to do. So
Mhm.
just
Yeah.
understand.
Okay. All right. So
It's been like eternally grateful for all the wisdom, April and Patricia. Thank you so, so much. Thank you for choosing your divinity over your humanity. I am so grateful, so grateful. And
Thank
we
you.
will meet again in 2 weeks. Many blessings, much love. Happy birthday to you, Patricia, and happy birthday,
Thank
belated
you so much.
April. Enjoy
Thank
your
you.
day. Bye.
Thank you.
Much love, many blessings.